Happy Palm Sunday, everyone. Just a quick Sunday reflection, random reflection, as I'm just driving around here on a Sunday after church, getting some stuff done. Um, my reflection is about people who don't believe. People, intellectuals, usually it's the intellectuals, that think I'm too smart to believe in God. I believe in science. I don't believe in God, which is really interesting because the laws of science are the laws of creation. Um, there's an architect or a designer or creator of all of those laws, but we'll talk about that in a separate discussion. My reflection was around the next time I talk to somebody who takes this position that, you know what, believing in a creator or believing in God is just for people who aren't that smart, who aren't as intellectual as me, because they just have this like blind faith because they're not smart enough to come to the conclusion that we came from nothing, we'll go to nothing, and just, I'm going to live my life because I'm a smart person. If I think about most of the people I know in my life that think that way, that or that I've like met in my life that think that way, that are the intellectuals. If you break down that type of person, it's not every single time, but like a lot of those people are like the same type of people that plan for everything. They're the type of people that are like hyper diligent, and like super, what's the word, like super obsessed, or just very organized in the way that they go about planning out their life. For example, these are the same types of people that, plan for every scenario. They have a plan for retirement. They plan for their children's university, college education. They plan for their kids' weddings, put away money. They plan every year for vacation. They plan for changing weather. Like these are the same types of people that like know 5 days ahead of time when a storm is going to happen, because they're planners, right? And they're always in control because they can't relinquish that control to a creator. So therefore, they're the hyper planners. Why do I bring up this point? It just occurred to me that if you talk to these people, you can really break this down to logical principles and say, okay, you're the type of person that plans for everything. Got it. You plan because there's certainties in life, like retirement is certain. Illness maybe is certain. These are the same people that like plan for maybe even assisted suicide, if they get ill. They have their will together. These are the type of people that have their shit together, right? So you plan for like the milestones and events in your life that are going to happen, including life insurance probably. But you also know that none of us are getting out of this place alive. Like no one is making it out of earth or life alive at the end of the day. Whether you live a short life on this earth or a long life on this earth, you could live to be 100 or you could live to be 5. And it's tragic when children die. It's tragic when people die young. And these are the same people that will say, if God is so good, how could he take a young child? If God is so good, how could he let my mother die early? If God is of cancer, if God is so good, how could he let, God forbid, my child die? How could he let my spouse die? And I'm not taking away, these are tragic things. These are not things that I wish for either, but at the end of the day, we're all going to die at some point, whether we die at the age of 20, 30, 40, or 70 or 80. We're all going to die. So my question to those people would be, do you know you're going to die someday? Yes. The answer is going to be yes. Okay. All right. So what's your plan? Like, what is your plan for you? after you die. Planning for the afterlife. And those people will probably respond and say, well, there is no afterlife. We just go to nothing. And then I would say, well, that's pretty silly, because like, they're like all the other things that you are banking on in life, even though they're not certain. Like, it's not certain you're going to retire. It's not certain that your kids are going to go to university. It's not certain that your kids are going to marry, but you plan for those things, because like there's a probability that those things will happen. So you better be prepared, because you're a prepared person. You've got your shit together, right? So think about that possibility. There's a possibility you're wrong about the afterlife. Are you prepared to leave that to chance? Are you prepared to not have a plan? Because you're a planning person. You're a prepared person. You might want to rethink that. You might want to think about, okay, the old saying, the only thing that's certain in life are death and taxes. Well, it's a guarantee. That's one thing, unfortunately, that we can all bet the bank on, that we're going to die. And when you think about what makes up you, I'm talking to you, whoever it is that is listening to this, your essence, your personality, your characteristics, all of the wonderful things that make up your life, your soul, your character, your being, your ability to reason, to use logic, to problem solve, to think, to love, to fall in love, to have emotion, to be sad, to be happy, to have misery and suffering, all of those things that make up you. You honestly think that just boom goes away? You're gonna bet on that? Are you sure? Because we won't get into the evolution debate, but you didn't come from nothing. Even if you think the original human species came from nothing, which that takes more faith than believing in God, by the way, because there's actually no evidence that that's true. You can't prove that, even using science, that we came from nothing. No one can prove that. But you have to disprove that there's God, that God exists. So when you think about, you came from your mother's egg and your father's sperm, and those two things that were living fused together and created you. And there's never been another you in this world. There never will be another you in this entire universe. You are the only version of you that will ever exist. And you actually think, when your heart stops and your brain just shuts off, that's it? You think it's just organs? That's all it is. Your brain and tissue and matter and some vital organs, but those are like the mechanical parts of you. There's more to you than that, and you know it. Think about it. You know it. Where does your fear, your happiness, your joy come from? That's your spirit, your soul. Think about the afterlife. You're a planner. Get ready, because it's happening. You're gonna die, but it's okay. You can live. You can live in eternity, and you can be happy for the rest of your life if you accept Jesus Christ. Yeah, and hey, listen, at the end of the day, that's the message. That's the message. If you want to learn more about who Jesus Christ is, the Son of God, fully man, okay, who came to earth, became one of us to redeem us. You want to learn more about the only definition of God of all the world religions that claims that God took on human flesh, even though he's the creator, because he loved us so much that he took on human flesh and suffering to redeem us, because we couldn't save ourselves. If you want to learn more about that, maybe keep following this channel. There's lots of resources out there to learn about Jesus Christ. But even if you don't accept Jesus today, or you don't decide to follow him, because that is a lifelong commitment, by the way, it's not a once and done thing, I want you to think about the afterlife. And you're a planner, so get planning. God bless you. Happy Palm Sunday.